Rachel, congratulations. You've done it again. You've had a night to digest all of this. How are you feeling, and have you been able to make sense of going to a third consecutive Olympics?
It hasn't quite sunk in fully. We had a great, celebration with our friends and family last night, and we went to the patch, danced to a great band. It was a great time, and yeah, just kind of coming together again today as a team. We're gonna go through a few meetings, and yeah, it's definitely surreal. I'm excited for myself, but more excited for my teammates. That win this week was for everyone, and just so excited that our hard work paid off. Doesn't always work that way, but yeah, just to be able to experience that with everyone who was along for that journey the last 4 years together as this unit, it's just been really special, and yeah, just too many emotions to explain.
Feels like yesterday you and I were sitting in a hotel in Ottawa after you qualified for your first Olympics. And now we're having this conversation all of these years later, and you talked about some of the heartbreak and some of the losses. You've been so vulnerable about that and some of the tougher times. What are you leaning on and taking from those experiences, Rach, that you feel can allow you to be your best self in Italy?
Yeah, I think, we all have our individual experiences, and kind of, you feel the wins, you feel those losses hard, and then you move on and you make a plan to keep pushing forward. And I think the biggest thing, I think this team is just leaning on the experiences that we have with each other, which is pretty cool and unique, that a team that's been together for this little amount of time has had so much experience in big moments and big games. And I really think that that's what we're leaning on, and that's what we're always going back to, what worked, how do we feel, what do we need to change, like how do we need to tweak things. And we're constantly trying to get better and push ourselves and push the game as much as we can. And I think, yeah, it's just really the experience of playing with each other in those big moments, and having that support and having the system in place that works for us and our team.
What do you do from now until the Olympics? In Canada, of course, I don't have to tell you this. You win, you get to celebrate probably for a night or two, and then it's dial it back in. So have you mapped out a little bit, and whatever you're willing to share about what it looks like from now until when you get on that plane?
Yeah, I mean, Curling Canada's got a lot of plans in place. They've done work for years behind the scenes, and personally, if they try and check in and say like, hey, these are like possible plans in the future, like I just check out. I don't listen to them. I know their heart's in the right place, but for me, I just put my blinders on and try and get the job done. And then if we complete, our job and, we achieve our goal, then I'm gonna dive right into those plans that you guys made for us. And I appreciate all the work and all of the recon and everything that goes into that. I know that they're working hard. And for me, I just want to make sure that I'm focused on one task at a time, and that I'm never distracted by, the what ifs, the what could be's. So yeah, I think today we're diving into meetings and getting some things really cemented, and make sure that it feels good for our team. Probably a few little things to tweak for the schedule. And I think we should just keep on rolling the way we have been.
A few more. On the topic of ice conditions here, they were challenging. There's been a lot of conversations about it, and yet you guys still found a way to win. Some people might look at this and go, you were the favorites, you did what you were supposed to do, and at times you made it look relatively easy. How nice is it to know that there were some challenges and some adversity that you had to push through to still get the results you knew you were capable of?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. In hindsight, that's, it's easier to, look at that and say, those were insane conditions. So proud of our team for just sticking with our process, and it looked ugly out there a lot of times, too many times when we wanted it to be. But we know what we're capable of. We know the shots that we can make, and they just weren't there in those ice conditions. And it just made it really challenging and frustrating when there's just nothing you can do about it. but just roll with the punches. And I feel like that's what we did. We just rolled with it and just tried to learn like one more thing for the next game, to just like make one more shot, because really that's all we could do, all we could control. And it really just made us focus even more. But again, those conditions, if they got worse, like it could have been really ugly. I think, you know, the ice staff did as an amazing job as they could have. You know, I think pulled some miracles when they needed it. We had puddles on the ice, which is not what you want when you're playing a frozen ice sport. But you know, those are things that are going to come, and I think in hindsight, like, that was great for our team to see that and be able to, you know, what felt like just make it through in the nick of time. It's too bad it cooled off today, so the ice conditions would have probably been ideal for Sunday. But you know, looking at that experience, I think it definitely helped our team and just learn that we can still battle through when there's adversity.
On a personal note, do you think everything that you have endured in your career, the wins and the losses, sort of bulletproofed you for what you would have to face here this week?
Yeah, I think we had some tough losses in the last couple of years. And you know, you just learn from them and you feel them, you feel those losses. You know, you want to be perfect, but it's never going to be the case. And I think, yeah, just keep moving forward. And you know, we just had to take what we had, and we knew what we were capable of, but we really had to stay focused on the task at hand. And I think that, you know, we proved to ourselves that, you know, again, in tough conditions, we were able to pull through.
This win at this point of your career, with your family around you, some thoughts on that, just because I know that's what drives you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was special to have two of my kids here. You know, it's hard to have them all here. It's just, you know, my mother-in-law's at home looking after my little one. It just would have been too hard to have him here in the arena. You know, I missed him, and I can't wait to see him tomorrow. It was just exciting, you know, like everyone's either watching at home and gathering together and cheering us on, or, you know, all the people that are here. It's phenomenal, everybody who came down, and be able to celebrate with them last night. And, you know, the best of three format made it so everyone's flights were tomorrow, so we're gonna have a family dinner tonight. And you know, like, those are the things that you work so hard all these years, and then like it's time to, you know, enjoy those moments with your family and friends. And you know, this win is theirs as much as it is ours.
Last one for you, Rachel. The warmth in this building when you won, knowing that you were playing a local team,
Yeah.
it really, in my feelings and perspective, felt like a warm hug around your team and you, to know that Canada has your back. Did you feel that? And then maybe just some thoughts on getting the opportunity to go and do what I know you've wanted to do so badly, bring home that gold medal at the Olympics.
Yeah, this arena has just been phenomenal the whole week. You know, when Black beat Anderson in that semi, it's like they've got the crowd as much as, you know, the country has been supporting us the last 2 years. Like, this is their hometown, so we knew it was going to be maybe challenging, you know, noise levels and stuff. And the fans were just so respectful of both teams, so supportive. Just a really cool moment. And in 8, when you know, Christina was in the hack and fans were just losing it, and I think Tracy and I were tearing up. It was a pretty cool moment, I think, for that team, for us, for just to feel like the respect of both teams, you know, just acknowledging how amazing of a run that they've had here in their hometown, and feeling that emotion with them. And then, you know, the realization that, you know, we're going to Italy, and it was a really, really cool moment to be a part of. So I'm, you know, just so thankful to the fans here to give us that respect and support and cheers, and people came out with signs, and there's kids, little curlers everywhere coming up for autographs. And you know, I gave away as many jerseys as I had, yeah, it was a special week here, and we've got a goal. We've had a goal, you know, since the beginning of the cycle, and we're one step closer to achieving that goal. And I think it's just pedal down and, you know, rinse and repeat, and we know that we don't have to change anything. We're going to tighten a few screws and see what we can do.
You're such a champion. Congratulations.
Thanks, Devin.